What's going on, world? We back at it again. Think to Freedom podcast, and today I have my brother with me, Mr. Gregory Powell. Man, SB Rise in the building. We live in effect. What's going on with it, bro?
Oh, nothing much. Just another day in entrepreneur land.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, bro, I want to thank you for even coming on the podcast and sharing your story with us, with the people. You know what I'm saying? We've been rocking for a little minute. We're going to get into it, how we met or whatnot. But I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you for coming in on the podcast and you doing your thing in the entrepreneur world, bro. Got to give you a flower while we can smell them, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to say that while before we kicked it off. So for everyone who do not know you, let the people know who you are and exactly what do you do.
Okay, well, I'm a Shreveport native. Honestly, I've been down here for forever. I'm 41, so I'm like a kind of like an older cat in the city at this point. I feel like an older cat at least in terms of just who I am and where I've been. I've been around for a long time. I'm a Shreveport son, a native of Shreveport. My whole family's from Shreveport. My mom was from New Orleans, but my dad and all his family's from Shreveport. So I run a small bicycle tour company called SB Rides, formerly known as Shreveport Bossier Rides, but we changed the name. We still go by SB Rides, but SB stands for Social Bike Rides, and it's really a bicycle tour company. I do some bicycle maintenance, and I do some event coordination in the city. So anybody that's trying to look for bicycle groups to get with, or want to get out and do something fun with their family or their friends for birthday parties or whatever, you can hit me up. I provide all the bicycles, and we do bicycle tours in Shreveport and Bossier. We've got nice sets of adult bicycles, beach cruisers. They're all lit up, wheel lights. It's a real fun, flavorful thing. I'm on most of the bike rides, but I have other tour guides that will take you out on tours. We play music. We have food and drink stops. It's a real vibe. It's perfect for COVID. It's just a good way to get out, get fit, have a little fun, and exercise, and just stay socially distant with your people, and just be kids again. Really, it's all about just being a kid again. Everybody's so serious right now with a lot of what's going on, and we're living in some serious times, but yet you still need to try to figure out a way to enjoy yourself and have a quality outing with your family and your friends, and do something safe and fit and fun.
Yes, sir, man. Definitely appreciate that check-in. So, man, GP, I want to run that about first because I was sitting there thinking about when I was putting together, what we gonna talk about or whatnot. I was like, man, how did me and GP meet? I had thought about it. I said, man, we and GP, we met about how many years ago that was, bro? About five, at least if it's 2020, had to be what, about 2014, 2015,
It's been a while. I mean, I know
13.
you're a little young. You're a little younger than me, but I think you were DJing at Coco's, and
Yeah.
you were really kind of heavy on the DJ scene. So you were somebody that I knew from the DJ scene, but then we ended up having like a common interest. My little cousin, RIP, the Young Reddy down there in Baton Rouge, was really kind
Yeah.
of how we really connected.
Yeah.
So that's been some years and a while. I couldn't really speak on exactly what year it was, but it was definitely back in the good old Coco Pelly's days, where everybody was trying to really push the music industry and the rap industry in the city, and music in the city was kind of different than it is now. But
Mm-hmm.
I think we really kind of connected back in the Young Ready days. I think that would probably kind
Yep.
of put a step on it.
Yeah, that would definitely put the stamp on it, man. Shout out to our fallen soldier, our boy Reddit, man. Like, what? Since we talk about Reddit, man, we gonna break it down about our boy real quick, man. Like, with so much going on right now in the temperature of, with these hip hop artists, being killed. to violence, and man, we can attest to being, knowing kind of how that feels. And like, what's your viewpoint on it, bro? Then I'll break it down. But I want to get you, what's your viewpoint on the being from? Because like, what people don't know, what people who don't know, who do know, Reddit was the top of the totem pole in Louisiana during the time that he was rapping and he was
Right.
alive. Like at this particular time, we were moving around. Reddit was getting 2,000, 2,500 a show, getting $1,000 to do verses, doing this thing. Really was on the brinks of going to the next level, and his life got cut short due to
Right.
violence and in the streets or whatnot. But I want to hear what's your 2 cents about it, and about that particular situation, and just in general with the young artists of today.
Well, with the, we live in we a lot of times we say we live in a different climate, but Reddy in his situation, that was some years ago. Now it wasn't too long ago, but it was still some years back,
Yep,
and
15. Yep.
so it's kind of the same way. Like how it is now is how it was 5 years ago. How it is now is how it was 10 years ago. Unfortunately, uh, in the Black community, there's a lot of gun violence. Unfortunately, there's a lot of gun violence. So it's tough to speak about these rappers getting killed so early. Is very sad, because to me a lot of it's very senseless and unavoidable. So shouts out to everybody that's lost somebody to gun violence, whether it was accidental or whether it was intentional. Nobody should have to live through a situation like that. It's very sad, and I wish there's a way for us to start coming together and stop promoting the violence. Unfortunately, we promote so much violence that violence is actually what people know, and really what people kind of get trained to resolve the issues with violence. So unfortunately, a lot of people resort to violence first instead of actually saying, let me just pick up the phone, let me just have a phone conversation, as opposed to just going straight to 10. They skip past 1 and 2 and go straight to 10. So if we could start going to 2 sometimes, at least just have at least have an argument. Let's at least have an argument first before we go to gun violence. It's sad. So hopefully, at some point we're gonna wise up and stop with the gun violence, because it's a lot of it's very senseless.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And I feel like what we doing now, somebody can hear it and it'll help somebody, somebody will listen, because one thing we know, we can't save everybody, but I feel like if we continue to put out the positive energy and show them it is a different way. Like I know it is not going to happen overnight, but if we continue to put out the positive energy and young Black brothers see other Black men who are successful outside of rapping, because most
Right.
time people don't know anything. You make it, you got to be a rapper, be an athlete, and it's 2020. That's not even the case now. You could be an entrepreneur
Oh yeah.
and you can live just like a rapper and not even have
Yeah.
to worry, not
You
even
gotta
worry about
create
half the
something.
thing.
You
Exactly.
gotta create. You gotta create something. There's so much opportunity if you actually create something. With SB Rides, I've gotten a lot of praise over SB Rides, and one of the things that has gotten me so much praise, people say, "Oh man, you're so smart." You said, "Well, it's not that I do believe I'm a smart person." So you got to have confidence within yourself. If you want to start a business, you want to be an entrepreneur, you do need to have confidence within yourself. So never dumb yourself down. Like if you know you're smart, hey, be okay with saying you're smart. I'm a smart individual. And so I feel like I'm a smart individual. However, I saw something that some other guys were doing in an area 5 hours away from our area. And so
Yeah.
when I saw
You going right into my next question.
right, so
You
when
end up
so when I
covering
saw
up.
the bicycles in New Orleans, that was 2017. I actually made a couple of notes before we got on. I was like, I just wanted to kind of pull the timeline together. It's 2020 right now. Time flies like this. But I saw it for the first time in 2017, like November 2017. Then I wanted to do it. It was Xavier University. Shouts out to Xavier University, my alma mater, where I was a business major, and my concentration was marketing. But I saw it in November 2017, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to go on a bike ride. I saw it. I thought it looked amazing. I didn't get a chance to do it. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, man, I really want to do that. I really want to go on this bike ride. It looks really cool. Always, at the time, I was in the oil field. And so I was thinking, like, man, you know what? That might be a good situation for me. But even though I could have gone out and bought bicycles, I didn't. I waited. A whole nother year came around. November 2018 came around. I actually rode the bicycles. I met the owners, who also Xavier University graduates. Shouts out to my boy OG Blake and Nick down in New Orleans, who own Get Up and Ride NOLA, who actually do the Tuesday night bike rides in New Orleans, where it's crazy, 200 and 300 bicycles on Tuesday night. So that's kind of what we're trying to go to Shreveport. But I met with them, Xavier graduates. They were not afraid to mentor me and talk to me. I have both their cell phone numbers in my phone. I can call them. They didn't say, oh, I'm not going to tell him anything. He's trying to do the same thing we're doing. And I told them, I said, look, they actually wanted to partner with me. They, had discussed partnering with me, and I was like, really, I don't want to partner with you. I kind of stood my ground on that. I was like, I really don't want to partner, because I know Shreveport like the back of my hand. So I really didn't see what value they could bring to me in Shreveport with it being so far. So I was like, I really don't want to partner. I appreciate it. I just don't see what you can do for me. But they still, even though I said I wasn't going to partner with them, they still were open and upfront in kind of teaching me the bicycle game in terms of what we do with the bicycle tours and putting together large scale events. So they actually still supported me and gave me insight, answered the phone, answered text message, was able to go back and forth with me on Instagram to help me create what we created. Because I didn't create anything. I just saw what they were doing in New Orleans and then tried to make it fit for Shreveport and Bossier. And that's exactly what I did. So I saw it in November 2018, had an opportunity to really pick those brothers' brains. They gave me some great insight. And in June, it was June of 2019, I was with a buddy of mine, had been discussing the idea of the bicycle business. He liked the idea. He thought that it was a good idea and wanted to see me do it. At the time, I really was in the oil field making money. I really didn't have a care in the world. And he was like, GP, I want you to do the bike business. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the bike business. And then he was like, no, I really want you to do it. And he gave me $1,000. I said I wasn't gonna say this, but he had my partner. He always gonna remain nameless, but he was like, I'm nameless. I don't want a piece of your business. I don't want anything. He handed me $1,000. And I was like, I never had anybody do anything like that for me. I mean, I've got great family and stuff like that, but I've never had like a friend say, here, man, here's $1,000. I want to see you do this. And I was like, really? It was the week of Father's Day. It was the week of Father's Day. I never forget. And that week, he gave me that money. That week, I went out and started buying bicycles. That was June 18th. That was the Father's Day, the week of Father's Day. We got our first ride July 4th. So in like 2 weeks after he handed me that money, we started.
Gotcha.
I had the first ride within 2 weeks of that, him handing me that money. And part of that was because I did not want to let him down. It was one thing when it was just me, but it was a whole nother subject when somebody else actually believed in me enough to actually hand me some money. Mm-hmm. So I went to New Orleans. I was buying bicycles I was buying bicycles the whole way down. Everybody asked, well, where'd you get all those bicycles from? I was buying bicycles off Facebook Marketplace the whole way down. Me and my son drove to New Orleans, and I was buying bicycles all the way down I-49 and on I-10, buying every bicycle I could find. That's how I got home. That's how I got most of the bicycles. And
I remember when you had called me one day and we met up at Kim Chicken and Whopper. You were like, bro, I'm about to kick it out, bro. I remember that conversation. We had linked up and everything. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and so it really happened that fast. While I was buying bicycles, I made a logo, made a name, got the EIN number from from the IRS, registered with the state of Louisiana, got a cattle and a Bossier sales tax number, built the social media, got business cards. I did all of that in that 2 weeks. All of that in that 2 weeks, because I knew it was going to hit. And so we created all of that within. We really created this whole business. People, well, what do you have to do to get a business? What do you have to do? What do you have to do? I literally just named like everything you have to do to get a legal on paper business.
And it didn't take you long.
No,
everybody who listens, it did not take him long at all. If
2 weeks.
You're about your business, you can get it done.
If you really want, I was still working in the oil field. I was still working 80 hours in the oil field when I did that. And so, and a lot of times people kind of get caught up on a lot of times people kind of get caught up on the paperwork. The paperwork doesn't make you a business. That paperwork does not make you a business. When you go out there and actually start providing your service, you have a business right then and there. That's what America. That's what makes America what it is. A lot of places you can't just do that. In America, if you say you're in business, you're in business. That's pretty much the bottom line. That's what my accountant told me. Having an EIN doesn't make you a business. When you have a sole proprietorship instantly, like you're already a sole proprietorship right now. So don't say, oh, I don't have an EIN, I'm not a business. Yes, you are. You're a business right now. EIN or LLC, all that is from an accounting standpoint, how your business is structured. But you're a walking, talking business right now. If you want to get into business, what I would say is get you a name, get you some business cards, and get out there with your product. Right? You don't have to get a business bank account. You don't have to get an EIN. You don't have to get an LLC. All that stuff can actually wait. But what you do need to do is get a name. A name. Your business has to have a name. A name, a logo, and some business cards, and start selling.
Just like that.
That's the first thing you need to do, because people get caught up in the paperwork, and that's not really what it's about. The paperwork is important, but that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing is that you actually believe in your product enough to get out there and start telling people about your product.
Gotcha. So in this world of entrepreneurship, which you have an SB Rise or whatnot, who and what inspired you to even jump into being an entrepreneur?
Well, entrepreneurship, that's just in my blood. You know, I think a lot of people are kind of products of their environment. So my environment has always been entrepreneurship, because my father was an entrepreneur, my grandfather, my grandfather's father, all entrepreneurs. On my mother's side, my grandmother was an entrepreneur, my mom's an entrepreneur. So that's just kind of what I know. Like working for somebody else I don't want to say I'm not going to say it's frowned upon in my family, but when everybody else is kind of in their own lane, providing a service to the people under their own terms, you're looking at them saying, that's what I want. That's what I want for myself. I haven't figured it out yet, but that's what I want for myself. I don't want to just punch a clock for the rest of my life. I don't want to punch a clock. It's all about just finding something that you can get behind, that you enjoy enough to do full time. Gotcha. And I was watching, I think his name is Drayden Dunn. He has a podcast that they just started up, and I heard him say something the other day about finding a hobby. And you hear people say it all the time, like find a hobby or find something that you'll do for free. And you hear people say, and it almost sounds funny, like they're being fake and they're really not being truthful. But part of why SB Rides works is because I like riding the bikes. Somebody said that to me the other day. It's like, Greg, you really like riding the bikes. I actually do really like and enjoy riding the bikes. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy listening to the music. And on days we don't have rides, I go out and ride my own bike in the neighborhood. 15 miles. You know what I mean? I enjoy riding the bikes. And so me doing the bicycle tours with people, that's not work. That's not work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times people are looking at, oh, well, what can make me some money? You know, that fizzles out, man. If you sitting there saying, oh man, the hamburger industry is blowing up right now, I want to start making me some I want to start making hamburgers. But do you really like making hamburgers?
Cause you'll quit if you don't like
it. after a while, making hamburgers is gonna get old. The restaurant business is one of the most difficult businesses to run in the country. That's literally like the hardest business to actually run is the restaurant business. People think, but I can, right. I can cook. I need to get a restaurant. No, you don't. Because that restaurant, that bad boy is going to be 24/7. So if you don't really like that, it's not going to happen. So you got to find something that you really, truly enjoy doing. I think that's why a lot of us do well, like as beauticians and barbers and stuff like that, because a lot of those beauticians love to do hair. Mm-hmm. It works because they like doing hair. Yep. And it's a lot of stuff like you see, like mechanics, like they really like working on cars. So you need to find something that you really truly enjoy doing, and then start focusing on trying to have your own business, as opposed to, oh, such and such is making money with the daiquiri shop, let me get a daiquiri shop. No, yep. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, because like I agree, the restaurant business is definitely a hard business, and a lot of people jump into the restaurant game. Even myself, for me, on a seafood restaurant, like I don't really like restaurants, but I love crawfish, and that's why I like what I'm doing, because my niche is crawfish. Just doing like a full-fledged restaurant, nah, you'll never see me do that.
Stick to what you're good at. Stick to what you know.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you. People, and one thing one of my mentors told me is riches in niches. Once you find your niche, you don't be all over the place, and you lock in and you tap into your niche. Because before, you the first person I know for sure in Shreveport Boulder that has a bike riding touring company. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it out.
I'm the only game in town. It is not about black, white, none of that. It's period. Only bicycle tours in town, right? And that's why I didn't want to be just in Shreveport. I wanted to be in Shreveport. I wanted to be in Bossier. Guess what? We doing stuff in Texas. Shouts out to the big homie Bebe.
So let's talk because he just did his bike ride for his Bebe Day. How was it linking up with Hood on that particular endeavor? Shout out to Big Homie, man, because he definitely done put a lot of people in position. Me and Big Homie done got a lot of bags together. Right. And he definitely put on. So how was that relationship, and then how that relationship even come about?
Well, once again, Bebe's the ambassador. We all know this. I'm a Shreveport, representative everywhere I go. You know what I mean? And because of that, Bebe and I have a special connection, because it's a lot of people that won't do what he does, which is rep for the city. You know what I mean? They get to Dallas and they get to say, this is a big homie, woo, woo, Dallas. But he's like, nah, I'm from Shreveport. You know, that's a big thing. If you're from Shreveport, you know, when you got your cousins and people all over the country and they say, this is my people, he from Louisiana, right? They always do that. They from Louisiana. And it's, yeah, you from New Orleans? No.
Oh,
not from New Orleans. I'm from Shreveport. Yeah, that's
everybody say, man, you from New? Nah, man, I'm from Shreveport.
That's a big thing. So I'm somebody that has always stood up for Shreveport, and that's something I'm always gonna do. And Bebe has that same energy. And so even though Bebe and I never really worked together on anything before, he's somebody that I've known forever, ever. When I was when I was a branch manager at Enterprise Rent-A-Car back in the day, back in like 2002, back in 2002, I really had a chance to kind of connect with Bebe just on renting cars and just being somebody like a young brother in the city that was kind of making my way up. And everybody went through Cocos, and anybody that was just mingling around the city, Bebe, he knew everybody. He was friendly to everybody. He knew everybody. And so he's always known me, but we never actually worked together. So with all that being said, I was doing a bike tour. I tell you, this is a little quick story. We were doing a bike tour, and I'm taking people right past Coco's. I'm jokingly, saying, hey, everybody, this is downtown Shreveport. And I'm like doing a tour, and I'm talking about landmarks and, downtown Shreveport's on a hill. And I'm just kind of going through my whole little spiel. And so we get on, I think it's Commerce Street, and we're about to pass Coco's. And I'm like, and here, everyone, we have a real true landmark of the city. We have Coco Pelli's, right? And everybody kind of laughs because I'm being so serious. But in being truthful, that's a real landmark. Coco Pelli's is a legitimate
people came
landmark
in town just to go to the club.
Right. And so it was only right for me to actually highlight this establishment, because on some of the bike rides, we have young people, kids who don't know what that is. So I'm talking to the parents and I'm talking to the kids, and I'm like, hey, you don't know, but this area used to be a happening area. It's not really a happening area anymore, but it used to be. So it makes sense to actually explain it to people while you're on the tour. So some of the people wanted to take a picture. So I ended up taking a picture by the Coco sign. And even though I don't really know Bebe that great, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and send Bebe this picture. I sent it to him on Instagram in like the story. And so this is like a year in. I've been doing business for like a year now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bebe actually hits me back. Like, oh man, we need to link up. We need to do something. And I'm kind of thinking like, he's not serious. He don't really want to link up with me. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt he really wants to link up with me, but okay. So anyway, so I hit him up, and we had a quick discussion, and I was explaining to him what I do and what kind of capacity I had. I said, man, I'll be honest with you. I said, I don't even know what I can do. I don't even know what I can do for you, baby. Honestly, I said, because you're so big and my business is so small, I don't know how we can mesh together. I really don't. I said, but if you're interested in working with me, I'm interested in working with you. And when I come up with an idea, I'll hit you up. He was like, okay, cool. So that was it. And months went by. Literally months went by. COVID hit and all this other stuff kind of went on, and it hit me. Everybody that has ridden with me since we started, that fell in love with their bicycle, that they rented from me, a lot of people went out and bought bicycles. So it was a whole lot of people that actually owned their own bicycles and was calling me like, Greg, when we gonna ride? When we gonna ride? But because of COVID, I wasn't letting people join in on rides. I was only allowing people to bring very specific groups. That way we had control over who was going to be there. And if anybody was sick or anything like that, this would be somebody's control group and people would know that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, all these people calling me, they want to ride and they can't ride because I used to let people jump in before, but they can't jump in now. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to promote a big ride for people that's already got their own bikes. And then when that idea hit, I said, you know what, baby, this is what we're going to do. So I hit him up. I said, what do you think about this? And he was like, I'm with it. I'm with it. So at that point, we just kind of went back and forth and just found a good date that worked with his schedule. And the rest is history. I did the community rides to kind of pull people together from different bike groups and pull different people from different backgrounds together so we could all ride together and everybody could kind of just commingle and realize that the city may be divided, but it doesn't have to be divided. So we could kind of pull everybody together. So the whole community bike ride thing was, once again, something that I kind of saw in New Orleans, but wanted to kind of bring that concept up here, where people bring in their own bikes. And then for people that don't have their bikes, I'm still able to rent bikes out. I can still make a little something, but I'm actually doing something for the community where, guess what? It's nothing to do anyway. It's nothing positive to do. It's nothing fit and fun for them to do. So people got these bicycles they don't know who to ride with. They need somebody to help keep them safe. And I was just a perfect person to kind of pull all that together. And Bebe jumped in, and so I did a lot of the coordination for his rides, so the Bebe Day ride, the rides in Dallas, the rides in Oak Cliff, the rides in Fort Worth. I helped coordinate all of those rides, keep people safe, put some rentals out there, and then, you know, with Bebe involved, you know it's gonna be a good time.
Yes, sir, man. So I want you to give your viewpoint on letting entrepreneurs know, cause like I tell people all the time, man, if you can make it in Shreveport, you can make it anywhere in the world. But I want you to give some tips, drop some gems on how to maneuver as an entrepreneur in a small city and get the best of what you're doing. Because a lot of people like, man, you hear a lot of people complain all the time, but I want you to hear your viewpoint on how to maneuver through a smaller city to be able to be at the top of the totem pole.
It's an art. It's an art. Your stuff has to be together in a small city. It really does. I was reading a book. Hold on a second. I'm gonna grab this book. Grab this book right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
But this is a good book. I suggest any entrepreneur read that book. It's another book. Hold on one second. Hold on. I think it's this one. I think it's this one right here.
Oh, Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, this is another good one. The reason why I wanted you to see that is because in the book it talked about having bad habits. And the thing is, if you have bad financial habits in a good market, in a good bustling economic market, bad habits can get covered up. They can get masked. In good financial times, bad habits can get covered up. But what happens in bad economic times, those habits will crash your business. Okay? So in a small market, your habits have to be good. There cannot be flaws in your game in a small market. Because if we were in Dallas, or if we were in Houston or Atlanta or New York or LA or Miami or somewhere like that, or NFL team, Major League Baseball, hockey team, any city that has major professional sports, You can do anything. You can have any kind of, you can have a frisbee business. You can have a business selling half a cup of water, and it's gonna work because they got so many people. Anything will work. Literally, you can sell just bags of dirt, and it'll work. In a small city, that's not gonna work. So you actually have to really focus on the market, what it needs, who's your customer base, and you have to be able to strategically target market every single customer. Every single customer is going to matter. In Shreveport, Louisiana, in Bossier, every customer is going to matter. You're not going to be able to say, I'm just going to do business with these people, because you're not going to make any money because the market's too small. In business, it's a numbers game. So in a place like Shreveport, Bossier, where it's not a whole lot of numbers, every customer is going to matter. Every customer is going to matter. And so if you can make it in Shreveport, if you can create something successful in Shreveport, I would say probably at least 8 times out of 10, you could take that concept and take it to Dallas or Atlanta or Houston, somewhere like that, and you'll make millions. Yes, if you can make it be profitable here, you can make it be insanely profitable somewhere else.
Yes, sir. So that's some words of wisdom right there. So I'm gonna ask you, what I guys got on? I'm gonna ask you, doing with SB Rise, what was one of the biggest lessons you learned or biggest loss you took, and what was one of your best wins so far? But definitely we're gonna talk about those L's. A lot of people we don't talk about, because I started talking about my, because I'll be wanting people to know, yeah, you might see people come, but I want you to know the time I took a loss and how I learned from it, how I bounced back. Because one thing about entrepreneurship, man, you go through all type of emotional roller coasters, man. You can it's easy for you to be depressed. It's easy for your spirit to be down. You know, it's a lot goes on into it. But speak about, one of your biggest lessons you'll learn so far.
Right now, I don't want to say L's, because I'm a positive person. I'm a half full person. I'm a glass half full person at all times. So some of the hurdles that I've had to deal with the bicycles themselves have really just been the police. The police have been somewhat of a hurdle. It's not an everyday thing. However, dealing with the city of Shreveport, dealing with the city of Bossier, I have had to overcome some challenges with both cities. Shreveport has been good. Shreveport has been better. I would say Shreveport has been better in ways, and Bossier has been better in ways. So, but when it's something new in Shreveport and Bossier, they don't know what to do with it. And sometimes the initial reaction is to kill it. Just kill it because it's new. And so a lot of us think, okay, it's new and it's just going to be accepted. In Shreveport and Bossier, because it's new, you can get some rejection. I talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people said, no, I'm not going to ride bikes. They just flat out said, no, I'm not riding bikes. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy.
Like, hey, I'm not riding bikes. That's stupid. And there's nowhere to go. And so I had to really, really keep pushing and kind of open up people's minds to, no, this really is fun. It's safe. It's fun. You're going to have a good time. There's more things to do in Shreveport and Bossier than you think. But it took repetition in terms of me marketing and promoting the business for people to actually say, well, I'll give it a try. You know, every time we do a bike ride, that kind of ensures the next ride. But if you're not doing any rides, it's kind of like, okay, you have to kind of start the ball all over. So Right now, we're having some permitting issues with Bossier. But we're going to overcome the permitting issues. Right now, Bossier is a little bit apprehensive about having large groups of people on bicycles. They kind of have an issue with that right now. Right now, they're talking about it's a safety issue, but at the end of the day, we're going to overcome this hurdle at some point. I can't tell you when, but that's something that we're working on. But Bossier has become receptive to the idea. We just haven't stamped it down yet. But so you think you've got this great idea and then everybody's just going to gravitate to it? Not necessarily. You're gonna have to put in your work, and you're gonna have to be relentless to the point where they're just like, man, this guy's not going away. This SB Rise thing is not going away. These bicycles aren't going away. And so then they kind of have to, I don't want to say you force them into it, but you figure out a way to find some common ground.
To make it be like, man, it's gonna let them through. I mean, it just we still in the deep south, so it still plays a part. Like I definitely understand.
So that's been the biggie. But I mean, I'm paying taxes. Like I could have checked the cattle every 3 months. I could have checked the Bossier every 3 months. So why put me in a position where I can't make more money? Because the more money I make, the more money y'all get. But you still have to you still got to have these conversations. You still have to kind of pour into them, because otherwise they're just like, go away. This ain't nothing. But like I told Bebe, I said, man, honestly, and you had put this on one of the questions earlier, I'm going to have the biggest bicycle tour company in the world. Like, you said, what's your plan? My plan is to have the biggest bicycle tour company in the world. My plan is to actually have people coming in from all over to come ride bicycles in Shreveport and Bossier. He's like, that's crazy. That's stupid. That's the plan. So I'm not going to stop until I reach that goal. That's my goal.
Yes, sir.
That's dumb. Okay. I mean, but that's my plan. That's not your plan.
Yeah. You're going to see your vision through. Everybody not going to understand it. But then once they see it, like, man, hey, it's okay. You ain't understand it. It wasn't meant for you to understand, but now you see, and it's all good. Right. And I just gave you the inspiration to start something for yourself.
Right.
Because it can be done.
And so for me, as a business person, this is just strictly me as a business person. I say this is, I'm going to say this as much as humanly possible. For people looking at what I'm doing, or looking at what you're doing, or look at the market. Look at the market. You need somebody to help you look at the market, call me. I will help you. I will help you look at the market strategically as to what makes sense, right? If I'm a person in Shreveport, do I want to open up another restaurant? No, I feel like we're restaurant heavy in Shreveport. I'm not knocking anybody that owns a restaurant. That's not the purpose of what I'm saying. But Shreveport is small. So every time somebody opens up something, somebody starts to get cut out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I don't want somebody to come out with a bicycle tour business. I want somebody to come out with something else, something totally different. I think there's value in that, right? Some people came out, they started renting out slingshots. They got some people that started renting out Rikers. Okay, I would have loved to have done that. Shouts out to the people that's renting out the slingshots. Shouts out to the people that's renting out the Rikers, right? They didn't come and get bicycles. They went and got something else. So I appreciate them for going and doing something else and trying to create their own lane. People need to really start creating their own lane. If somebody would say, oh, I'm gonna get a bicycle shop, or oh, I'm gonna start selling tires or something like that, something that I could use, then we could actually work together instead of being in direct competition with each other. Shreveport is a small place to be in direct competition with each other.
That's true.
That's just me. Somebody open up a crawfish place 2 doors down from you, like, man, you couldn't have went to Bossier, you couldn't have gone to Mansfield or somewhere, you know what I mean? But you just to go 2 doors down, like, you gonna make some money, but you gonna make a little money, but you ain't gonna. I'm gonna make a little less money. You gonna make a little money. That's not where it's at. We're trying to maximize our dollars. Exactly. So when we're trying to maximize our dollars, we need to come up with something unique.
Gotcha. Yeah. Man, you hitting it, bro. You hitting it right on the head. You preaching and they ain't listening. Well, they listen to the podcast, but you preaching today, bro.
But that anytime I get a chance, that's what I'm gonna say. But and it's not to put money in your pocket per se, but I give this advice so that you can actually get your own money. Don't go get in competition with them. Create something where there is no competition. Create something where the only competition is going to be you and the customers. The competition is not going to be against you and another business.
Exactly.
There's going to be tons of opportunity and tons of money in you having a business that has no competition other than you just getting your business out to the world.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Because like with that and the internet changed the game, man. If you don't do nothing with a brick and mortar, you can do something online. It's plenty of ways you can make money on the internet.
Right. I don't have a brick and mortar. I have my own shop. I have my own shop, but it's not downtown. So what I do is I trailer the bicycles in. And guess what? My overhead is nice and low. If I had a brick and mortar, guess what? I mean, if the cheapest, let's say I had rent downtown, or I had rent in Bossier, the cheapest rent possible is gonna be let's call it $1,000, right?
Yeah, at least 1,000.
At least 1,000. It's probably gonna be way more than that in downtown Shreveport or Bossier, but let's just pretend it's 1,000. If I have $1,000 rent, that's no utilities, no Wi-Fi, no cable, no insurance, none of that. Just the 1,000 for the rent, no water, nothing else. That's $12,000 coming out my bottom line. Off top.
Oof. One thing about them bills is real.
So that's $12,000 off top. Now you gotta, in your mind, this is just business. I'm just free game. If you're gonna have a brick and mortar, that brick and mortar by itself needs to actually provide you extra business. If having a brick and mortar isn't getting you extra business, it's pointless to have it. I'm trailering bikes out. I have no overhead. Well, I have my overhead is small. My overhead is very small. My overhead could be $12,000 coming straight out of my pocket. So if being downtown is not going to get me at least $12,000 worth of business on its own, there's no reason for me to actually have a building downtown. And there's really no possible way for me to be downtown for $12,000 a year.
When it don't make sense number wise.
Right. I don't. The business isn't there. Like the business isn't there yet. Now, when the business is there, yeah, fine, whatever. We'll buy a building.
That's what
not lease one.
Commercial real estate at its finest, man.
Right, not lease one. I mean, me personally, I don't want to lease a building now. If I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna shout out to Ryan Williams. I'm gonna buy a building.
Cause that's definitely my next move. Next move is definitely buying a spot. Something that's gonna work what I like. Cause where I'm at, I ain't gonna lie, I play a cool number. My number, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying?
My bad.
Oh no. You Gucci. Because like I say, my particular business, I sell crawfish. I need a spot. Like what I have, I need a spot because the type of clientele, type of people who come see me, they got a spot makes you make more money in my particular field.
Right, because they got to be able to come consistently.
And so yeah, so like I say, it definitely works out. But I'm with you all the time. Like, man, buying number one, because you gonna save money at the end, and then if you own the spot, if you just choose to sell it, there ain't nothing but a flip. Or you can make you some residual money. If you want to move out, you bring somebody else in. It's definitely ways, you know what I'm saying? Definitely way that you can definitely work it. So, bro, GP, you done drop some game on them today, bro.
I try, I have a formal education from Xavier University, but I was really baptized in the fire business wise. I really learned from the best. I've got entrepreneurs, all up and through my family, and I've got some really successful mentors that I get to tap into all the time. And I just try to live by the golden rule at all times. If I make a mistake, I mess up, I say I messed up, I apologize, and I try to make it right with people. And if anybody doesn't know this, when I was in school, they used to say you could if you did right by a customer, that customer will go out and tell maybe like 3 or 4 people. But if you did bad by a customer, they would tell like 12 people or 20 people or 22 people. Okay, I was in school in 2001, right? The internet was not what it is today. So now people have 5,000 followers on their Instagram. On their Facebook. People have hundreds and thousands of people on their Instagrams. Okay, so back in the day, when you had a bad experience and somebody would tell 12 people, that was 12 people in person. Now somebody can have a bad experience and tell 5,000 people they had a bad experience. When that's a possibility in a small market like Shreveport Bossier, you cannot afford to mess up with one customer, not even one. Because if that one customer goes out and tells 5,000 people you're trash, that's not good. That's not good. You cannot ever have the energy of, I don't need that customer. No, you need every last customer.
Yeah, because people, they definitely, man, this generation, man, they jump right on Facebook and Instagram, because even I can tell you, I had a couple of people had a bad experience, and then a lot of things it don't even be something that you can control, but you as an owner, you gotta be at the forefront, and you gotta be able to take all leaks. But you said something very, very, very major, very important. It's all about how you treat that customer at the same time. Because I'd had people, I'd have had the person that come in and make it right, and then you know what though, a lot of people, the way you handle them and you direct them and you and come at them in a correct manner, they'll have even more respect for you and still come shop with you.
People are gonna fail. We're gonna fail. We're human. We're humans in business. We're going to fail. That is okay. How you handle that failure is very important. And once again, I learned from the best, right? Customer service, that's the number one thing. People want to feel have an option. So this is a little bit of free game. So you got to hear them. Don't talk, just listen. Just listen to what they have to say. Once they've said what they have to say, present them with some options. Okay, man, I'm so sorry that happened. I apologize about what happened. Here's what I can do. I can do this, or I can do this. It's always 2 options. Always. I can do this, or I can do this. Would any of that work for you? Would either one of those work for you? They've got 2 options now. The options, it doesn't even matter what the options are. Or I can remake your play, or I can refund you the money, right?
Yep.
Okay, you gave them 2 options. That was reasonable. You apologized to them already. Oh, well, I don't want to eat anything. I just want my money back. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Well,
But
I tell you what, just if you want to give us another try, just let me know. I'll personally make sure it's okay. Oh, okay. That guy was really nice. He gave my money back. When I do the bike rides, it says on there twice, no refunds. 2 times it says no refund.
yeah,
But if somebody's about to cut up about a refund, I can't afford to just sit there and say, I'm sorry, ma'am, our policy was no refunds. I need to hear that customer out and make a wise decision.
mm-hmm. Sometimes, well, not even some. It is. It's best sometimes just to don't even deal with the headache and just kill it. Be like, you know what? We apologize. Don't even go back and forth with it, because a lot of people mess up sometimes. Because I don't seen it go back and forth on the internet. Going At the end of the day, when you run a business, you can't do that. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter how bad that particular customer cut up.
And
You
I
got
tell you, and I tell you what, you didn't ask this question, but I'm gonna get on it anyway because it's kind of going that way. When you own a business, and you probably can attest to this, you don't have a personal page anymore. Your page is not personal anymore. When you own a business, you represent that business 24 hours a day.
everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, if people know that Red Barn is your business, you cannot get on there and cut up about anything.
Exactly. Cause you be out and about. You be like, hey, ain't you the bike man? Hey, ain't you the crawfish man? I'm telling you, get it all the time, all the time.
So your business is not even your business. I say this, like, your business is not your business, right? That business belongs to the customers.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the caretaker over that business, but that business is not yours. You're there to provide that service to those customers. You know what was funny when we first got started? People said the same thing. I didn't know we had this. I didn't know we had this in Shreveport. I heard that so many times, and the people that said it were right. Their natural reaction was, I didn't know Shreveport had this. I didn't know we had this, because this is our community. Shreveport Bossier is our community. We have something. It's not mine. They just say you have something. No, we have something. And people say it all the time, and that's really what I feel though. It's just not game. I did it because I thought that it was going to be something that the community was going to enjoy. I thought it was going to be something that was going to be good for the community, and people see it that way.
Yeah.
So it's not my business. This business belongs to the people.
Yeah. Because the people will keep it afloat. Not my
Right.
money.
Right. If the people don't want it, it's gonna die out.
Exactly. Exactly. Because you need customers. That's
You
the only way
need,
a business. That's the only way a business is gonna thrive.
that's it. That's why we're here. But we have to provide that service. So it's not about the money, it's about the service. If I provide the service, the money's
Money
gonna
gonna come.
and
Product.
people and young people that might hear this, it sounds like a broken record because you probably heard it before, but it's so true. It really is the truth. If you provide the service, the money's gonna take care of itself. It really is.
That's it there. You just dropped the $1 million worth of game right there. Somebody gonna build a successful business just by listening to you today, GP.
And and I'm not afraid. Like, if you got questions, I will 100%, try to help you. I don't know. I don't know everything. And that's why so many people, so many entrepreneurs without degrees, do well. A lot of people with degrees have jobs, right? I got a degree, but that degree doesn't make you special. A lot of times people with degrees are kind of held into a box, right? They're afraid to fail. And that true entrepreneur spirit, if you become unafraid to fail, you're gonna be special. So I had to kind of break out of being afraid to fail and just get out there. And so if you're somebody and you just need confidence. That's really what this is all about. You got to have enough confidence to step out there. And if you need somebody to give you some confidence, or you need somebody to kind of spur you on, hit my line. Socialbikerides.com is the website. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, SB_rides. My information is so public. I'm not hard to find. You Google bicycle tours in Shreveport, you're gonna find me. You hit me, you hit me, you're gonna get me.
Oh yeah. GP, man, bro, you showed out today, bro. You know what I'm
Appreciate it,
saying?
bro.
And man, you gave a lot of gems to everybody who listened to this podcast. And man, I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you for even taking out the time to come bless us today, bro.
Oh, anytime, it's a blessing to even have somebody think your opinion is worth hearing. So if I can help somebody, I know people have helped me along the way. And so I want to be able to reach back or reach forward or reach sideways, whatever I can do to help. I'm gonna say this too. We have a beautiful BMX track in Cargill Park, a beautiful BMX track, and we don't have any. We have like one black person that goes out there and rides. And BMX is super fun. They ride on Tuesdays and Saturdays at Cargill Park. Anybody that's interested in riding BMX, let me know. We're definitely trying to get some more exposure to the BMX park. I don't make any money off of it. It's just, once again, this is just something for the community where I think we can have some kids riding BMX and having a good time and enjoying themselves and just staying out of trouble. With the bicycles, when people are riding bikes, what are they not doing? They're not fighting. They're not acting the fool in the hood or anywhere else, right? When we're riding bikes, we're exercising, having a good time with our people, having good, fit, socially distant fun. And that's what we need. That's what this area needs right now, because COVID doesn't seem to be going away, and we've got to find some positive outlets for our people.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, you said a bunch, bro. And I definitely appreciate you for tapping in with us for the Think to Freedom podcast, man. Make sure you like this video on YouTube, share this video on Instagram, wherever you found this podcast at. Make sure you share this. Make sure you go online to thinktofreedom.com. Make sure you purchase the merchandise. I'm dropping a new book November 27th called Think Your Way to Freedom, man, where we tapping into you to be able to, tap into your superpower. That's basically what we're talking about in the whole ordeal. Because most people don't tap into their superpower, their God-given talent, because everybody has a God-given talent. So, man, it's coming out November 27th. Make sure you go by the Red Barn. Crawfish season's on the way. Springtime coming in. SB Rise gonna be full in effect. Then the temperature rise up, man, and we're gonna be here. We're gonna be around for a long time, bro. So,
Oh yeah, and we're still riding. My birthday is December 12th, so December 12th weekend, be looking for some big rides coming up. So we're still booking. November's been a good month. It's been nice and sunny, but we're gonna keep riding. If people keep booking, we're gonna keep riding.
Yeah, holla at him, man. GP gonna take care of you, man. He gonna take care of you. So, man, but GP, bro, I appreciate you for tapping in with me, man, and we gonna get to it.
Appreciate it.
All right.